Hello everyone and welcome to Dive Bomb F1. It is Season 8, round number 7. We're here for the Monaco Grand Prix. It is a nighttime race under the lights. And we have got split qualifying. Alexei currently on his lap. Made his debut and only Grand Prix in Saudi Arabia early on in the season. He was on for a great result. Looked like someone that could challenge Casper on the run up to the line now, and it's 11-8 for him. Jessica Ball looks like they're going to be next up to the line. No, Casper 15-4. Here comes Jessica Ball in the Red Bull round the final corner on to the start finish straight, and that is second place 14-3. Not the quickest of laps from the drivers at the moment. I think Lewis Craig coming into the pit, he's abandoned his lap. So Jenga Boy, the only driver really on a lap at the moment. We'll see what his split time will be in the first sector for Jenga Boy, and then we'll quickly run through some stats and who's where. Jenga Boy 19-1 on the medium compound tyre through the first sector down into the Hotel Hairpin round through Mirabeau and then Portier, and I apologise if I get any of the corner names wrong. The Mercedes driver who won the Madrid Grand Prix last weekend, the inaugural Madrid Grand Prix in DBF1. Down the hill he goes into the Nouvelle chicane, and now there's no straight mode on any of the straights here. They're not really straights, are they? There's a little bit of boost for the drivers to use tonight through the swimming pool section. Gets close as to the wall as you dare, and Jenga Boy gets a little bit too close to the wall on that occasion, and this might be an abandoned lap for him, but he's going to push through on the mediums. He wants to start on that medium compounded tyre. The top 5 in qualifying must start on the compound they use. Surely you know that by now, and he's on the front row of the grid provisionally, and he has got a long way to go before that 9-minute countdown on his timer runs out. Jess not improving either, but I think she's just recharging the battery to go on this lap. She's got Lewis Craig out in front of her as she comes through the casino section. So yeah, this section will have Cam. It has Cam K Mam, it has Jenga Boy, it has Jess Games, Kaya, Lewis Craig, Casper and Alexei. And the drivers that have won here in DBF1 in the past are Khalifa won in Season 1, you got ART Kyle won the second season. There was a bit of a break to Deck in Season 5, and then CJH won in Season 6. We haven't had this track on the calendar last season as Jess now through the tunnel she goes and down the hill towards the Nouvelle chicane. What will it be for her split 2 time? It's looked pretty clean so far, and she just managed to avoid invalidating a lap there. It looked very tight over the chicane curb. And it is Purple through Sector 2. She's 4.5 tenths up. Don't think that will be challenging Alexei or Jenga Boy unless she can put a perfect final sector through that Red Bull cockpit. No DRS, no straight mode, it's all boost, it's all the battery using up in that Red Bull, and she improves by a second, and she's got a lot of work to do in the next 3 minutes. Kaya on a lap, it seems. I think he's the furthest driver round. Yeah, he is. Kaya now through the final couple of corners in the RB in Heat 1. He's going to know where he is tonight very early on the soft compounded tyre. And the advantage he has is he knows what time he can do. The others will have to try beat him and not make any mistakes. P4 ahead of Casper, his teammate at the moment. How long that will last, we'll have to wait and see. Casper leading the championship at the moment on 103 points. The man in second place, the American, Cam K-Mam, on your screen in the Audi, round that final corner, 16 points adrift of Casper Klein. This is probably his best opportunity at closing that gap, and he moves on to the third place, the second row of the grid. That is exactly what the Audi driver needed, and I think it's Lewis Craig going to be up next. Yes, he's going through the Nouvelle chicane now. Is the Ferrari, but is the McLaren, but he's invalidated, so not really going Casper now on his lap. We'll stick with Casper. Not using any of the battery. But he's the only one really on a sort of push lap. Ross is really struggling with connection. He keeps leaving and rejoining. So I think Ross has got some issues. Yeah, so Camrill's in third place. He's on 84 points, also one of the winners this season. Professor on 81, a race winner as well. Jenga Boy 73 won last time out, as previously mentioned. And then you've got Kai on 68, who I don't believe he is here now. He wasn't here originally. Ross, he keeps leaving and rejoining on 52. Cam on 36, and then you've got Scottish Goat 34. Daniel rounds out the top 10 on 29. The Mercedes boys currently lead the driver, the Constructors' Championship on 154. You got Cadillac pushing them as best they can on 136. Racing Bulls are on 114, and then you got Audi on 93. And yet, Casper, three-time race winner this season, on your screen coming through the swimming pool section, not using the battery. Cam Rules also won a race. And then you got the two Mercedes boys, also race winners. Up to the line goes Casper Klein, and it's not an improvement of time, but he is pushing this time around, and I think he will be the first person to go. Alexi might be further around. Yeah, Alexi is finding time on his provisional lap time. The Haas driver on the run up to the line. It's an 11.3, and Alexi is going very quick in his second ever Grand Prix in that Haas. Is anyone else on a quick lap? Lewis Craig has just gone P2. Front row of the grid on that soft compound. That is a second faster than his lap time he did in the practice session. The McLaren making a statement claim and going for it. He's going on the softs and believes that he can go on the softs and start the race well. If you start in P2 and you start on the softs, then you've got every chance of being P1 into turn 1. Alexi also on the softs. Jessica Ball out of the session. Anyone that didn't start their lap before 9 minutes is now out of the session. I think Casper Klein will be the first one up to the line. This is it for him. He needs a solid lap here. Oh, it's a 10.5 on the softs. Fantastic lap. Jenga Boy goes P4, and that's his qualifying over. Lewis Craig not improving. Cam K-Mam not improving. Kaya has to box. He cannot set a lap time or he will be disqualified from qualifying. So Kaya has to box and retire the car. That is your first run of qualifying. Everyone else will start to funnel out the pit lane at 8.26. So Kaya needs to box yet, otherwise he would have been disqualified. He's obviously last in his heat, but there's chances drivers can make mistakes, and if Ross is disconnecting, then he'll be behind, and you can see now that is your top 5 at the moment provisionally. 4 of the top 5 will have to start in a soft compound. Jenga Boy, the only one on those mediums. If he falls to P6, then he has free tyre choice. And now it's the second running of qualifying. This is Heat 2. Got a similar layout to really the F2 back in the day. I've not watched F2 in a long time around Monaco, but they used to have the split qualifying, I believe, or was it Formula E? There was some format that used this sort of heated qualifying. As the top guys all retire from the session. And we will see who is going to be the first car to sort of set a lap. Is it going to be Gamer James? It will be. The drivers have a time limit to get round the track. So once they've turned round turn 1, they've got 1 minute and 45 seconds to complete their outlap, or it is a free place grid penalty. Gamer James is absolutely smashed that. He will not be in any danger, and the stewards who make the decisions on the incidents in the Grand Prix monitor that in the stream. So we are all good on that, and we're on board with the Alpina Gamer James, the reserve, who's just crawled over 50 Grand Prix in DBF1 recently, and we'll see on his 53rd appearance what will it be through Casino Square. The car not wanting to stick on that track as Evil Dragon has left the session or retired, not wanting to set his lap time. As James now through the hotel hairpin, now through Mirabeau, and then eventually Portier. Such a slow section of corner, but if you can get it right, it's absolutely rewarding. On the power, using the boost, it's the only place you can really use it. Through the tunnel section, down the hill to the Novelle chicane. Brake as late as you possibly can, just avoid the wall on the left, avoid the curbs as best you can. And Gamer James just backing out of that lap as he invalidated. There is another car. I think that's a Cadillac, is it? No, it's not a Cadillac. It's really hard to say. I think it's JO. Scottish Goat in the Haas on the medium combat attire early in the session. 5.5 minutes to go in Heat 2 and the Monaco Grand Prix qualifying, using the Lewis Hamilton yellow helmet. Round that final couple of corners now for Scottish Goat. What will it be on the run up to the line for the dive bomb team driver? Can it challenge the top 5? He's P7. 13, and Daniel P. Whelan it goes 12-7 on the softs. Very quick lap. Is anyone else in the lap? I think Jake is coming up to the line now. And that is 6th place ahead of 2nd in the drivers' standings. And that is where the later qualifying times are helping the drivers. The track is evolving. Daniel P. Whelan at 5th, Jake in 6th. Fantastic qualifying from the Aston Martin driver. And Keaton, who is on the medium compounded tyre, if he can qualify in the top 5 and be in those mediums, him and Jenga Boy have got a chance at having a fantastic result tonight. The McLaren driver was close to picking up a win last week. It came 2nd. Not being able to win this season like he did last season, struggling to move from the 25 cars to the DLC. Putting in the work though is Keenan in the McLaren through the tunnel now. Got around about 50% of boost mode and overtake left down the hill. Brake late as you possibly can. Do not invalidate your lap. Look very smooth from Kieran there, but on the exit it wasn't. It was very, very shaky as Gamer James goes into the top 10 now, ahead of Kaya by about 3.5 tenths. Kieran now through the swimming pool section into Raskas. Brake as late as you possibly can. Swoop the car around. Don't clip the wall at all. It's beautiful at the moment. What will it be? Will it be anywhere near the 10.5? The 8 tenths between first and second? 12. He's into the top 5 and guarantees himself to start on the mediums unless anyone can challenge him. Cam Rules now on the medium compounded tyres, 3rd in the Drivers' Championship, 19 points behind Casper Klein, and he needs a 10.5 to put himself anywhere near Casper. But on the mediums, Casper on the softs. Casper will have the tyre advantage at the beginning of the session, but will he have it later on in the Grand Prix? You'll just have to wait and find that out. Here he goes now, the Cadillac, the man that won the Austrian Grand Prix. Dominated early on in the Grand Prix. Casper started to come back at him as Daniel P. Whelan goes into the top 5 again. Cam Rule's only in 9th place, so he'll want to get a fresh set of, but he might not have the time actually. Hopefully he's got the fuel to go again on those mediums, recharge the battery, because they're running out of time now with the drivers. There's an Aston Martin off, and that's Jake gone straight on his 2nd run. Daniel P. Whelan, yeah, 1.3 down. Scottish Gold, the only driver really on a competitive lap time. And Ross, remember a dive bomb, having Wi-Fi issues. That looks like his qualifying won't even begin. Evil Dragon was obviously in Heat 1, couldn't do qualifying. Scottish Goat now through the swimming pool section. We're on board with a Haas. What will it be? He's not really pushing at the moment. I think this might be a slow lap and then go right at the very end. Jake's gone back up into 6th place. That's why he's going straight on. Scottish Goat now running the fuel low to push on this lap. So Big Boy Ewan will be next across the line. Not set a competitive lap time yet, the Red Bull driver. He'll be wanting to move a lot further up than 15th. Cam as well. Big Boy Ewan and Cam Rules. Cam F1. They're the people you're looking at possible pole position. Kieran's gone into the top 3 there, ahead of his teammate. And that is on the medium compound as well. Kieran got an advantage on the rest of the field. Jenga Boy looking to drop out the top 6 if he's not careful. Jake retires from the session in the pit lane. Big Boy Ewan is purple through sector 2, but he's invalidated the lap, it looks like. Yes, he has. His lap will not count. Ah, disaster. What would it have been if he managed to set the lap time? 11.7. It would have put him just outside the top 5. Scottish Goat now on whose lap? Is Cam Rules further around? No, it is Scottish Goat. Then Daniel P. on that. Using whatever battery is left on that Haas. The current Haas in Heat 1 went P2. Can Scottish Goat improve? No, he can't. That's his qualifying over. Daniel P. on that on the run up to the line. No, loses time. Calm Rules now. 5.5 tenths up. He's looking to try and get into 6th place. He does. 6th place. Gamer James finding time. Big boy Ewan had time to go again. He made it. Cam never. And Ross never made it either. Big boy Ewan pushing and pushing that Red Bull as best and as fast as he can go. He's not got much battery to play with, but it's only him and James now that really can set competitive lap times, unless anyone else has got the battery to go again, which I don't believe so. The Red Bull pushing through this final sector, trying to find every ounce of time that he possibly can and put himself in a position to mount a challenge for some decent points. And he goes 7th place. James, 5 tenths up. He's looking to mount a challenge to Chess and Scottish Goat. Maybe even second in the championship. Cam Mam, Gamer James, only 13th fastest, but did find about half a second of improvement. That is your qualifying, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Casper Klein on pole on the soft compound. Alexi Vibes in second on the soft compound. This man here, Keenan, in third on the medium compound. Lewis Craig fourth on the softs. Jenga Boy fifth on the mediums as well. Then you got free tyre choice for Cam Rules, Big Boy Ewan, Daniel Preview on that, Jake, Cam K, Jessica Ball, Scottish Goat, Gamer James, Kaya was the last of your timed runners, and that has been qualifying. So we will have the retirement race, and then we'll go back to the lobby and implement any qualifying penalties or grid penalties that we need to, and we will see you all in a few moments. So we're on the grid waiting for the drivers to get their fuel loads and setups back on the car and pick their strategies. The top 5 obviously have to pick the tyre they set their best lap on in qualifying. That means the top 2 on the softs. Kieran in third, he'll be in the mediums. Lewis Craig on the softs and Jenga Boy on the mediums also. 39 laps of this Grand Prix coming your way. I think we're going to have plenty of safety car action after Madrid. And hey, we had a red flag in Abu Dhabi in DBF2. We've never had one in DBF1 though. This might be the place for it to happen. But the drivers have been warned that penalties will be more strict around here. The drivers know how to drive around here and we don't expect any completely stupid moves. Obviously the drivers get away with a bit more at other tracks. There's a bit more room. You're not going to get away with it if you go for something silly tonight and ruin someone's race. And I'm so excited to see the dynamic. Can Alexi get off the line quick? Can he get ahead of Casper Klein? Can Kieran stay with them and go long? He'll go medium to hard, you would imagine. The other drivers are going to, their softs are going to wear out. Can Kieran get past them when the softs wear out? That'll be yet to be seen. Something that could be interesting as well is an early safety car could really advantage the drivers not on the softs. You'd think it would be an advantage to box early on the softs, but then if you box and go on the hards, then you're going to have to stop again, and Kieran can just go long and stop once. So you might get caught up in traffic, and is it the best idea to box under safety car? Because not everyone else might box, and if you get stuck at the back of this field, tonight you're not going to make your way through unless there's a serious problem. And we're just waiting now for the tier coordinator to give the go-ahead, which is Lewis Craig. He's told us we can go at 55. Lewis Craig, 50 points away from 1,000 DBF1 championship points. And he is now closing up on 280 Grand Prix. This is his 77th DBF1 race start. He's getting ever closer to Baz's 102. He's really the only one that's even remotely close to it. So, it is 55. Just got to wait until that timer comes up. We'll probably just get shoved straight on the grid with the lights, which is what Codemasters usually does. And once we get through the first lap or two, we'll have a look at everyone else outside of the top 5 tyres. Cam and the Alpines had to run. We hope everything is okay with him, but we're on the grid now. It is 5 red lights in Monaco. It's Casper v Alexi. It's Finland versus Finland. Who will be better off the line? It's definitely Casper Klein. The McLarens, as you were, Jenga Boy, trying to survive the attack of the Red Bull behind, and there's drivers all over the place in the back, but it doesn't look like there's been a crash. Daniel Piewinnet's dropping down the field. Gamer James has had a bit of contact as well, and he's dropped down a position. Jessica Ball has dropped down massively, and oh, there's a crash between Evil Dragon and I think that's Kaya. Hopefully that's not a safety car. I think there's damage on that car. Yeah, there's damage on Evil Dragon's Aston. Only caught the end of it, really. Casper now. This is important for his Grand Prix. He needs to stay ahead of Alexi. Alexi needs to try and battle Casper. He cannot let Casper get ahead and sail off into the sunset. Critical moments in the Grand Prix. The McLarens, as you were. Lewis Craig would have liked to have gotten past Kieran on the race start, but as he's in fourth place, behind his teammate going long, he might be able to stick with his teammate early on in the session. Oh! Casper's in the wall. He's spun. On lap number 1, the championship leader is falling down the grid. He cannot get the car turned around. He is in 13th place. Daniel Piewinnet's in the pits. I think this is going to be a fresh wing, is it? No, it's just onto the mediums. I don't think the game makes you 2-stop. Unless the game is mandatory to choose. Oh, Lewis Craig is. Oh my god, I thought he hit the wall there. Lag. He's got him past Kieran. Oh, Kieran's left the session. Well, quickly, we'll be cheeky and quickly invite Kieran back. If he's still appearing online. We'll invite Keenan back quickly. Hopefully he can get back in. Lewis Craig, this is brilliant for him. He's closing up on 30 podium. This might be his best opportunity yet. On the lag I had on my screen, it looked for sure like he had hit the wall and the tyre had gone. And well, Alexi definitely didn't hit Casper in any sort of way there from the mini-map. And he is now off in the sunset, and he had the advantage of Lewis had to slow down because Kieran was going slow and didn't ghost until Lewis got there. So 2.2 seconds the gap now. Jake is up into 5th place in the Aston Martin. He is flying around Monaco. No straight mode, no problem. Cam Rules up into 6th place. Kieran now getting passed by Cam K-Mam as well. Kieran is in the session, but I don't think the car is letting him take control. Disaster for Kieran. He must still be on the PC. He's had these issues in his league where I drive and he's commentating. It's the roles reversed and he's in the wall. Jesus. He's had issues. Jenga Boy now on the mediums. Big Boy Ewan on the mediums as well. They're chasing down Lewis Craig. They've dropped out of that 1 second just. Lewis is catching about a 10th this lap on Alexi out in front. Been a long time since Lewis Craig won a Grand Prix in Dive Bomb Sports. Imagine he won tonight, he'd be absolutely delighted. But he's got to close that 2 seconds up and stay ahead of Jenga Boy. Jenga Boy now, who won in Madrid, the Season 7 runner-up in the Drivers' Championship. Can he really throw his hat into the ring here of becoming a championship contender? Because Casper Klein is last place and he's going long on those hards. He will come back. You have to imagine that his pace in the clean air, he will come back. Daniel P. Wheelnut now ahead of Kaya and he's on course to get past Evil Dragon. Evil Dragon makes that easy, knows the pace, knows Daniel's going to be pushing very quickly on this run. And fair play there. Ross is still in the session, I believe, here. No, he's not. Gamer James and Scottish Goat battling away into turn 1. Mediums versus hards. Bit of contact, but nothing cynical from either driver. Cam Rails now right on the back of Jake as they go towards Mirabeau. Jake manages to stay ahead. Lewis Craig now losing a bit of time. Well, the gap's sort of actually staying where it is at 2.3. It goes to 2.4, then 2.2. It's sort of stagnated at 2.3. Jenga Boy is closing each lap. Jenga Boy and Lewis Craig have had some fantastic battles over the last couple of seasons. Mexico in season 6, Lewis had the edge on Jenga Boy that night, but Jenga Boy's had the edge on Lewis many other nights. They've had some fantastic battles over their season and a half, coming up to 2 seasons in Dive Bomb F1 against each other. Jenga Boy seems to be a lot quicker on this game. Lewis Craig not had the luck in recent weeks, and the luck's gone his way. Casper and Kieran out the way. He's on the softs. Not the sort of strategy he would have wanted, but if he can keep Jenga Boy behind, which it will be difficult to overtake here, especially Lewis's strategy. Keenan is back in the car now. Looks like Scottish Goat or Cam Rules had an incident with Jake there. It is difficult to overtake here for Jenga Boy. He's got to bide his time. Alexi's not sailing off into the sunset just yet. Jenga Boy definitely has the pace over Lewis at this phase of the Grand Prix. How long will those softs go? Evil Dragon is picking up time penalties left and right here as Casper gets past. We're about to start lap 6 of 39 as well. It's the Haas of Alexi Vibes in his second ever Grand Prix. Close at the moment to picking up a win. Well, he's in the position to win. Cam K second in the Drivers' Championship, 16 points behind Casper Klein. He'll close that gap even more tonight. Casper scoring 1 point as it stands. Yellow flag, and is that a safety car or a VSC? VSC at the moment. So we have Ross and Casper Klein of Party Team Dive Bomb. Jake in the pits. Cam K-Mam in the pits, but he gets a 10-second pit lane penalty. A nightmare for the Audi driver and the man second in the Drivers' Championship. I tell you what, this man, Jake, in the Aston Martin, he's not had much pace this season. He's a very good and quick driver. Sort of unfortunate with his teammate, with the tier pace, as Lewis Craig's got a drive-through. Disaster for Lewis Craig, second place in this Grand Prix. It was all going great for him, but he's got to serve a drive-through within the next 3 laps to be disqualified. It can't even be removed. Absolute disaster for him. Jenga Boy now going to try sail off it down the inside of him, and Lewis Craig tries to leave room, but there's not really much place to leave room there. They're side by side still, and Jenga Boy has to yield. All this is doing is allowing Big Boy Ewan to close up. And Lewis did leave the space, and there's not really much space to go through there at all anyway. Might be one that the stewards look into later on in the night. Not really affected Jenga Boy in too much of a capacity for the moment. And is this drive-throughs for everybody at the moment? Lewis Craig hanging on, drive-through penalty for him. Evil Dragon, 13 seconds worth of penalties. Cam K-Mam, 10-second penalty as well. So if they stop again, they will have to serve them then. Lewis Craig will need to serve his drive-through on either lap 7 going on to 8 or 8 on to 9, or he'll be disqualified from the Grand Prix. So annoying for Lewis. He'll be devastated, especially being second and having a chance at least a top 5 finish here. Jenga Boy not making a move this time around. Oh, Big Boy Ewan has gone straight on there. He missed the corner and had to slow down by about a second there to not pick up a penalty. He's done well not to pick up a penalty there, the Red Bull. He slowed right down, which is the right thing to do. Now it's all about, can Jenga Boy do the right thing and get past Lewis Craig? Can he catch Lewis napping off the final corner? We're on board with the Mercedes now, and the traction just pulls the McLaren away, and the Mercedes will close up, but it's not enough. Through Sandevot they go, and up the hill into Casino Square, and Jenga Boy so much quicker than Lewis, but Lewis's car is just placed perfectly, and Lewis is out. He's in the wall, he's clipped the barrier, and there is a safety car. Lewis Craig absolutely shunted the wall on the right hand side. Oh, Jenga Boy's out. Oh my god, there's a safety car, so we'll get Jenga Boy back as well. And since I re-invited Kieran, I can't really not re-invite Jenga Boy. And oh, this is even more of a disaster. Lewis Craig, he'll be gutted. The drive-through was going so well, and then he clips the wall, and it just shunts his car to the opposite side of the track. And Alexi vibes on those soft compounded tyre, but 100% peel into the pits this time round. Jenga Boy's back in the session. He's not lost any places. The only thing is, can he get in and get on the hards before he gets to the pit lane? Alexi's in. Jenga's in. Big Boy Ewan is in. We will get the tyres up now. No one in the top 6 has made their stop. Oh, and Keenan's got a drive through. Oh, the McLarens are having a disaster. Alexi's on the mediums. Interesting from the race leader. Seemed like he would go hards to the end if possible. Jenga Boy on the hards, Big Boy Ewan on the hards, Kieran on the hards, but needs to sort of drive through after the restart. Jake is on the hards in 3rd place and is technically a net P4. Cam K 6th place, Daniel P. Wheelnut 7th place, Casper Klein in 8th, Scottish Goat 9th, Jessica Ball 10th, but coming into the pit, she's just leaving the pit, sorry. James 11th, Ross 12th, he's not even racing. Kaya in 13th, Cam Rules 14th, interesting front wing concept from the Cadillac. Kaya 14th, and Evil Dragon is then in 15th place. Sort of saves his race. He'll be able to crawl back up to the back of the field now. So, Casper in 8th place. He's got 7-lap-old hard compound tyres. Daniel Pavilion at 7-lap-old mediums. They will probably have to stop again. I can't see the hards going that long. The mediums are definitely not going to the end for Daniel or James or Alexi Vibes. I don't think the hards will go as long as Casper Klein needs them to either. Lewis Craig has got a fruity message on the team radio for his McLaren pit crew, and he's very, very unfortunate there. The drive-through penalty, you just got to take it on the chin. I got one in my other league earlier on in the week. It's just something you've got to deal with. The safe VSC is very dodgy on the DLC at least. It just turned in a moment too early, and the suspension on the McLaren absolutely collapsed, and across he sailed into the barrier on the other side of the track. And it was goodnight Vienna on Lewis Craig's push for the chance at a podium here in Monaco. Jenga Boy disconnected, almost lost a position but managed to get back in time. Kieran got a drive-through penalty after disconnecting also. Jake in 4th place. No penalties either, by the way. Net P4, technically. We're watching Alexi's lap time. We're seeing if the space into the safety car is obviously being monitored like it is every Grand Prix. And Lewis is saying his engineer never told him the VSC was ending. That was similar to me actually on Monday. They didn't tell me it was ending either, and I got absolutely shunted. The VSC totally ruined my Grand Prix, and then no safety car came out after. So the 2-minute 2 mark for going, that's how slow you can go under the safety car. Daniel Pibuena into the pits now to get rid of those mediums. Probably the smart strategy. Go to the end and just try and push through the field. Hope the rest of the field have to come into the pits. And yeah, Alexi crossed that time with miles of time. So Alexi will have plenty of time to do the restart under the 2-minute 2 margin. And if he wants to take longer than 2 minutes 2 seconds, all he's got to do is finish 10 seconds ahead of someone in 2nd place and he'll win, because it is a 10-second time penalty for breaching that lap time. Unless it's because like circumstances don't let him. If the safety car's just planted on the road and being a twat. Yeah, we'll maybe give him a bit of buffer there. But going off the testing and that previous lap, he's definitely going to be okay. And Bert Mylander should come into the pits this time. Daniel's catching up fairly quickly on fresh, hard compound tyres. Yeah, he's back in the field. He's overtaken Evil Dragon there. Yep, there we go. Safety car in. So Alexi Vibes on the medium compound tyre. He'll have the advantage early doors, but he has got a long way to go in this Grand Prix on that compound tyre if he wants to win here in Monaco. There we go, Alexi goes fairly quickly off the line. He's got Jenga Boy sleeping, the tyre advantage as well, and he does it, no problem at all. By 7 seconds he breaks the time, so the worry that the drivers had in the track, Alexi smashed it out the park. Do what he did and get ahead of Jenga Boy by 1.3 seconds. That is the advantage he needs. He needs these medium tyres to work for him. He needs to build a gap to box again. Or do a Lewis Hamilton in 2018. Kaya's got a penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Daniel Pulonet's in the pit lane again. Not quite sure why. Big Wayun on course for his first podium in over 7 years in DBF1. Been a long, long time since that day back in 2019. Kieran now, drive-through penalty. Oh, and so Cam Mam has clipped the back of Jake into the hairpin, and now he has got the likes of Casper and Scottish Goat all over him. The Championship 2 battling away, and they have got Scottish Goat behind as well. Casper's up into 6th place after his disaster on lap 1. Safety car did help him. But now, with Jake and Kieran not giving up position, at least Jake won't easily. This is his best result of the season so far. Here comes Casper now, but Jake is looking to make a move on Kai, and they make contact. And that might allow Casper to slip up the inside of the Aston Martin. It does. Down into 5th place goes the Aston Martin. And now Casper trying to go around the outside of Casino. That would be crazy if you could make a move there. And the McLaren had a bit of contact with the Aston Martin and Jake, and that allowed Casper back up the inside. Holding on to his championship lead in terms of the top 2. And 3. I think Jenga Boy is next. Yeah, Professor and Jenga Boy. Professor not here tonight. Serving a race ban for his antics in Madrid a week ago. Not competing in tonight's session. So Jenga Boy can close the gap. And obviously it's plus 2 points for everyone that finishes. So everyone will score 2 points on top of what they do at the moment. Daniel's scoring 0 points in the format, but then with the 2 points extra, he will score 2. And I tell you what, Casper Klein on 4 as he's promoted to P4. Oh, and Jake's been hit again by Scottish Goat there, and now he's lost 2 places. Jake will be absolutely fuming. It didn't look like a tank slapper, it looked like he got a bit of a clip. And Jake might have a few reports, because if he's losing positions because of them, then it is subject to review if they don't give the place back. He's got Gamer James and Cam Rules chasing him now, and Evil Dragon into the top 10. Fantastic resiliency from the other Aston and Evil. Stuck behind the Cadillac of Cam Rules, who's 3rd in the Drivers' Championship. And now, all roads lead to this man, Jenga Boy. Casper Klein currently scoring, is it 15 points for 4th place? We will quickly have a check. I believe it is. So it's 25 for the race winner. It's 21 for 2nd place. 18. Yes, it must be 15 for 4. Yes, it's 15 plus his 2, 17. At the moment, he's scoring 21. 23 will be his outcome if he completes the race. 30 points behind. Oh, and Cam Rules is out of the session now at turn 1, and we've got another safety car. This kind of saved Kieran a wee bit. He's just served his drive-through. Just as well he did. That could have been a disaster. As we're with Kaya, and we'll try seeing, not really seeing where the Cadillac is. The Cadillac must have disappeared off the screen. Cam Mam served his 10 seconds as well. Well, if you're Alexi now, surely you come in. You've got 24 laps to go on those mediums. They cannot go to the end, surely. Surely that's going to be too much of an ask. I still don't think Casper could go to the end either. 13 laps in those hards. 20 and a bit laps to go here. I don't even think anyone can go to the end. I think everyone's going to have to box. And he is. Alexi's in. Jenga was your new race leader. Daniel Wheel, and that's picked up a drive through. Such good pace, Daniel, but it's not been there for him in terms of luck or what's been happening. Daniel's picked up another drive-through, has he? We'll let the cars get through the track and just sort of shuffle out the pack and get into the correct order, and Daniel's definitely going to be retiring in the pit lane. I think he's got 3 drive-through penalties. Yep, disqualified dive-through when it's given up. A shame, he had some good pace. I'm not sure really what happened. It's fairly quick as well. So, Cam Rule's not scoring any points. Lewis Craig not scoring. Daniel not scoring. Everyone in the top 13 scores anyway, and then plus their 2 points. Jake is in 7th place still. You'll be okay with that. Obviously not if the reason he's lost positions is because drivers have hit him. So he might have a few reports coming. But it's going to be interesting to see Jenga Boy, Big Boy Ewan, and Casper now. Casper got absolutely worn tyres. Will Casper's tyres go to the end? 14 laps. A long way to go. I think everyone's going to... Anyone that's not on fresh softs, fresh tyres, at the, like Alexi and the guys at the back, are going to have to stop again. Alexi could probably go to the end now on those hards and B, not have to stop again, and that could put him in prime position for the win. He's led every lap until this lap under the safety car. Fantastic drive from Alexi, and he's got work to do to avoid getting in a battle and get damage. And Dom saying that Lewis was blinded by the eclipse. And that's very true. Lewis must have been staring at the sun. He wasn't wearing the correct PPE that my work were supplying, apparently. Lewis Craig needs to wear better PPE if he's going to go staring at the sun and the moon. Because he absolutely shunted the wall. After all the hard work he did as well. Very unfortunate. He's gone for a good result, Lewis, and we've said that many a time this season. It's just not gone his way. That's a difficult circuit under any normal circumstances in the dark. Obviously the lights are on, but has caught a few of the drivers out, they said in qualifying, the not being used to Monaco in the dark. But look at that shot there. In the night time, Monaco is just beautiful. Lewis works for a rival company in the group chat, as you can see. Brothers don't do anything to be peaceful, it's always drama. We start the 18th lap, still under the safety car. A long way to go. Casper Klein has got a long way to go if he's going to be on those hards until the end of the Grand Prix. And the drivers that could be in a bit of bother here are the Aston Martins. They're on old hards. The drivers behind are on fresher rubber. At least James could most likely go to the end on those hard compound. I don't think the medium drivers will be able to. So they might actually be okay. I think James, maybe they might have to battle James later on, work as a team to get past the Alpine. Only teammates that are remotely close together as well. Well, Alexi Vives and Scottish Scott. You'd imagine Scottish Scott would move out of Alexi's way in terms of Haas's constructors' hopes. And surely now we are going to have the safety car come into the pit lane. Red Bull going for the fancy front wing, I see. Jenga Boy should most definitely be like Alexi and absolutely sail under the 2-minute 2 minimum lap time under the safety car. He has to slow down and let the safety car get away. plenty of time. The runoff's so short that he's got plenty of time to go. That's the safety car in, so Jenga Boy can go when he pleases now. And he does have plenty of time. He's got 22 seconds to get this underway. He's definitely going to have that. And there we go, off the final corner. Not green flag conditions until we get through the start-finish straight. And I tell you what, Jenga Boy, Big Boy Ewan is wasting no time at all to try and get past Jenga Boy, and he almost did, but Jenga Boy managed to yield him off. And now Casper Klein up the hill on 16 lap old hards is trying to attack the top two. He was in thirst in qualifying. He had the disaster lap on lap number 1, and at the moment he's trying to get past Red Bull, the seat that he was kicked out of and put into the Racing Bulls moments ago, as Alexi gets past Jessica Ball. His fresh hards doing the job for him at the moment, and now he's got a lot of hard work to do to get up to his teammate and pass, and then just bide his time against the top 4. Jenga Boy's done well. Hards got away well. 1 second now, that gap to Big Boy Ewan, who's got Casper Klein all over the back of him. 17 lap old hards on the Racing Bull. 9 lap old hards on the Red Bull. Scottish Goat not giving this fight up either. He's on the medium combat tire, going quick. And then you've got Alexi Vibes on fresh hards. He's only done 1 lap on lap 19. We have got 21 laps to go. 20 once they cross the line. And that is the boost mode active, and this could be Casper's opportunity now. The fuel light is on. The Hasses are doing synchronised swimming and swapping places. Alexi's in 4th place and chasing the top 4. That was the perfect place to do it. Didn't hold the driver up at all, his teammate did, Scottish Goat. And here comes Kieran now on Evil Dragon, and he slams the door shut. Does Liam. He will not let that McLaren make the move there. Perfect car placement from car 41, and now he's got his teammate in front of him that he's trying to help out. He's got so many penalties, Evil Dragon, that if any sort of holding up he can do in the cars behind will surely help Jake onto their best result of the season. And we're just waiting to see, can he hold him up any longer? Trying his absolute best. Evil Dragon is now passed by Kieran, but he's still there, and Jake picks up a penalty, unfortunately, and Evil Dragon wasn't able to hang on to the position, but he was still there for a long time, and Camke has only got to sit and watch as Evil clips the wall now. Jake picked up the 3-second time penalty and has a bit of end plate damage. Not good for the Aston out in front. Casper Klein now chasing down its 3 attempts, might be able to sneak into the top 2 here. Coming up the hill, will he be able to make a move for P2 and try his luck at winning the Grand Prix? No, not able to do so there. Yellow flags in sector 1, not sure who that's for, it might have been Ross. We get into the hairpin now. And Alexi Vibes is right on the back of this battle now. Down through the tunnel he goes. Can he close up the gap to Casper Klein? Just got to wait and see. He's not able to do so there. And I believe we have Lewis Craig in the commentary box now with us. Welcome, Lewis. How was that race for you, the accident there?
Terrible. Absolutely terrible. Just trying to hold that Jenga Boy for Kieran to catch up a little bit because he was quite far back, and yeah, just clipped the wall. Stayed out too long on the softs, so that's what happens. These things happen in Formula 1.
The softs not doing the job for Lewis Craig, but they did work for Alexi Vibe. He got the gap and he got on the mediums, and he did a wonder strategy that seems to have just worked out in his favour, because everyone is probably going to have to stop again, and I think that might be a VSC just after the leaders missed the pit lane. I think Jake has missed the pit lane as well. A couple of guys at the back will creep into the pit lane. Now Jenga Boy, 3.4 ahead of Big Boy Ewan. Do you see this is going to be 2 in a row for Jenga Boy now if he can avoid a mistake?
I would say so. His tyres should go at the end. What's there, 17 laps to go, so I would say the hard tyres should go. The mediums, the softs, they lasted pretty long considering the amount of corners on this track, but yeah, I think everyone should be pretty safe. Casper might be struggling, but I think it's still going to be a challenge for Alexi to get past Casper around here, considering how hard it is, and then you're trying to pass him on top of it. It's double hard.
Casper Klein leading that championship, and the lap one spin in the swimming pool section cost him dearly. He's up into P3 again. The safety cars have helped him out, but that 20 lap old tyres, when we've still got very long to go as the safety car in the VSC has now ended, that's caught a few drivers out, including Lewis. It's very hard to manage. The game seems to, under the DLC, not really tell you when it's going to end. And I tell you what, this has put Casper Klein right on the back of Big Boy Ewan and away from Alexi. And the way to win the Grand Prix is put a car between yourself and the Haas driver. The two Finnish drivers trying to win here against Ewan and Jenga Boy. Jenga Boy, 2 seconds up the road. This is massive for his Grand Prix. Casper Klein, so quick, even on 20 lap old hards. And the gap is so close between there, but the Monaco just proving how difficult it is to overtake. And one mistake from Casper dropped them all the way to 16th place, and that might end his chances at picking up a win here, especially when you would imagine they'd have to stop again, and he's risking a puncture. The Racing Bulls driver is literally pushing the Red Bull through the second sector.
Jenga seemed to be sleeping on that safety car restart. He's pulled the gap a bit further. It was 2.8, 2.7. It's now 2.4. It went down to 1.9 on the restart. So I don't know if Mark didn't tell him that his safety car was ending, but he definitely didn't tell me. So yeah, just I got that drive through and thought, well, I'll just hold that Jenga boy, but clearly didn't work out. Casper looking pretty close heading on the pit straight here though.
Kai has gotten past Jake in the second sector. We caught on the stream there, no straight line mode, only boost for the Racing Bulls, and he just doesn't have the traction on those tyres, which you would imagine 22 lap old hard compounded tyres, they don't have great traction when they're fresh, never mind 22 laps into a Grand Prix. And Casper not got the traction out of the corners to try and mount a challenge, and the straight mode, not having that, is definitely affecting the top end speed of the cars tonight. And Alexi is just biding his time really at this point. He doesn't need to make any rush decisions at the moment, but as the laps tick away, that thought process might pop into his brain to tell him we need to get a move on. But the longer this race goes, especially if Casper's not in clear air, his tyres will wear even more, the more danger he is going to be in. And only his second Grand Prix in Dive Bomb. Alexi is managing this really, really well, and Kieran now on the back of Jessica as well for 6th place.
I mean, Casper and Ewan are fighting very closely, and Alexi has caught up because they are fighting so closely, but they have closed the gap to Jenga Boy. I don't know if Jenga Boy is, and there's another crash. There's a safety car. Gamer James and the chicane.
That is Casper in.
And
Perfect
Casper
timing for Casper Klein under the VSC. That'll save him a few positions in time. Scottish sneakily having a good race up in 5th place as well. They'll lose out to the likes of Kieran, Jess, Jake, and Cam K. Mam, but they'll stay at. Oh, they might not stay ahead. They should stay ahead of Kaya here. Yeah, Kaya's got to go slow because of the Delta. And I tell you what, this ruins Casper's race if he doesn't get out ahead of Jake. I don't think he did. He never. Or did he? This is very confusing. No, Jake's definitely ahead.
He's passed.
Yeah, he got past. So that is critical for his Grand Prix. Obviously, having Kieran ahead of him is not really the best thing.
On the better tyres, though, so we'll just have to see how good Kai's defending skills are around Monaco.
So, Jenga Boy decided to stay out. Big Boy Ewan decided to stay out. They're trying to go to the end, really, unless they come in this lap. You've got Alexi in 3rd, who's on course for a race win, providing that everything goes perfectly for him. Scottish go. Oh, another driver picks up a time penalty as we get going again. I tell you what, Jessica Ball is doing a fantastic job as your teammate Kieran dives down the inside, and Jess seen that coming a mile away. It was nowhere near a day late and a dollar short for Kieran. He got the move done. Jess stayed to the right hand side, which was fair enough. Jess seen it coming, and she knows that Kieran's not really her race. A top 5 result for her and Red Bull would be a fantastic outing, and she's got her former teammate Casper behind. Probably not going to hold Casper up too much, Jessica. Her race probably is for 6th place and staying ahead of Jake, who has a penalty, and Cam K-Mam 2nd in the championship, coming into the pits now on those mediums.
Yeah, this is looking good for Kai. First, it's kind of Jess putting the car between him and Casper of Jess. It's delayed Casper's arrival. I don't think Jess will hold Casper up the whole for the rest of the race, but it's definitely going to delay his arrival. Kieran just needs to. Well, there we go. He goes down the inside on the coming out of sector one. He goes a bit deep though, but he's made it work and he's made it stick. So yeah, that slightly delayed Casper's arrival on the back of Kieran, but if Kieran can just try and keep him out of that boost activation zone, I think Kieran might be okay. Kieran with a bit more battery than Casper does, so Casper's really trying to catch up. But he's in that 1 second now, so Kai's going to have to get the foot down, but also try and keep those tyres in a working window, or he is screwed.
Yeah, Casper's not really Kieran's race, is it? He obviously wants to put the pressure on his old rival, and Kieran kind of threw the spanner in the works in season 7 on Casper Klein, was sort of the driver that we needed to win the Grand Prix for Jenga Boy to win the championship, and he did have a great final half of that season as Casper. Now, with the overtake, Kieran is not going to give this up without a fight. There's too much pride at stake between these two. Kieran might not be the lead horse that he once was, but he's trying and trying his best to battle away. They're side by side all the way up the hill, and he did everything he could on those old medium compounded tyres, but there's just not enough gas in that McLaren. He might be able to come back, but the overtake, a little bit of boost for Casper managed to get him ahead. Kieran now just needs to stay with him if he can. 9 seconds to a podium place for Casper Klein. If there's anyone who can get on the podium, it would be him. He might still be on for the win if he can get a perfect few laps here, because the top 3 now cannot pit without going behind him, even under a VSC.
Just noticing Casper's is running on low fuel, so he needs to be careful and make sure that you can make the end of this race, or he will be in a terrible position. We saw Scottish Goat in qualifying run out of fuel just near the end of his lap, so it's a big sacrifice running the low fuel, but if he can make it work and a bit of LIGO like the Ferraris, he should be all good. But I don't imagine it'll be a worry for him. He should catch up to the pack in front of him, I would imagine, as he sets the fastest lap of the race on his mediums. Yeah, 3 lap mediums to 12 and 2:19 lap old hard tyres in front of him. I think this should be no bother for Casper.
Will close the gap. It's more of a how quickly will he close the gap, because he's going to set purple, 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 purple for a majority of the next 3 to 4 laps. It's one thing to get up to the back of Alexi Vibes, it's another to get past them, and if your tyres are gone by the time he gets there, it's going to be a long, long stint for Casper come the end. But now the project is to get past Alexi, close up the gap, and the thing that's helping Casper close the gap to Alexi is that Alexi can't get past Big Boy Ewan here, and Jenga Boy maybe just maintaining the pace. We know we've said that he's not really pulling away, or he's not gaining much time. He's losing time and then he's gaining back up to 2 seconds. Maybe this phase of the Grand Prix for Jenga Boy is save that battery, which is at 100%. Don't kill the hards, because there's a long way to go. There's 11 laps now. It's all about management for Jenga Boy. He's got about 6-7 seconds on Casper Klein. It's all about management for Jenga Boy. You see that Racing Bull coming up the hill now as the two behind you are battling away. Casper's got to pass these two, and as you can see for Alexi, it's not easy to do, and they're not going to yield the position. They want the podium. They don't have penalties. They're going to make this very difficult for Casper Klein, and Jenga Boy, he doesn't need to push until Casper gets ahead of them, which might not even happen. So Jenga Boy just needs to not make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, Casper's showing his pace now. In 2 and a bit laps, he's gapped Kieran by 6.34 seconds now. So, yeah, Casper is absolutely flying, just banging in those lap times. He's now 3.4 seconds behind these guys. You can see them, they're right there. So, Casper will be arriving on the back of that Haas rear wing very, very shortly, I would say, in the next lap and a half.
Well, he really wants to become the first ever DBF1 champion, DBF1 multiple champion. We've had 8 seasons and 8 different champions. Well, 7 seasons and 7 different champions. This is season 8 as Alexi onto the start-finish straight, bit of battery not close enough this time. It's 1.2. Casper's getting close to the boost now. And well, yeah, we've had that. Obviously, we've had a couple of drivers win different tiers multiple times. So, like Alistair's won TGV2 and also won DBF2 and DBF1. He won them all. There's other drivers that have done that also, but it's just one of those things. Casper had the benchmark of being the two-time champion in DBF1 and winning back-to-back for the first time in our company's history, 7 years of history. Casper wants to break that, and he's obviously the streak of podiums ended. So his first race, he had didn't have the podium, and then he went 24 podiums in a row, and then obviously had a disaster of a Grand Prix at Canada, which meant he didn't get on the podium, and that was 24 and 2. And well, at the moment, he's in fourth place. He might get on the podium, but it could be 2 races in a row where Casper's not on the podium, which is kind of unheard for in his dive bomb career. He is obviously the fastest guy we have, and there has been sort of talks of how to slow him down, really. And obviously, next week he will run the sort of buffered setup, which will he'll still be able to adjust things, but it will be sort of the Parc Ferme things he can change. Obviously, Monaco's a bit unfair to disadvantage people with the setup, just with the track layout. It would have happened in Madrid, which he didn't race, and he is so close now, and he's got there. He's really, really close, but he's got no. He's running out of fuel, but he is on sort of the point where the fuel he can regain on the last lap. He's running out of battery a bit compared to the drivers in front. And how much tires he's got as Alexei goes for it down the inside of Big Boy U, and then Casper tries to take advantage as well. They're side by side, and Casper's on the outside, which will put him under a lot of pressure, but he gets past the Red Bull. That is massive, and Alexei's seen the gap was there and just went for it. Big Boy U, and you have to give credit to him for pulling out of the moves. Only respect to him. And it's just those tyres are just gone. He had nothing left. And now, Jenga Boy, this is where his management of the battery and the tyres will come in massive. He needs to go now. He has got 8 laps to go now to the end. He has got to push and win this Grand Prix if he's got any hope of winning the championship.
Actually, the hairpin there when Casper got past Ewan, it looked like Ewan actually he wasn't giving up, but it looked like he got stuck on the curb almost. So he couldn't get any traction going. So I don't know if he was just not trying to fight it too hard or if he did actually get stuck. But it looked like he was struggling to get going around the corner. So yeah, definitely helping Casper as he goes up the inside of Alexei up the hill, up to Casino, and he's still there, and he backs out of it. But it looks like he's
Alexei's
going to go
not
down the
giving this
inside
battle up.
and touch wheels. And Casper backing out. And these guys are catching Jenga Boy pretty quickly. Jenga Boy needs to get a move on, but it doesn't look like he's using his battery at all, so I'm not sure what his plan is here.
Use it on the straights and get away from them. Saving the corners and then let these boys attack each other. We got yellow flags. Casper can't overtake, really. Well, he can. And as the yellow flags disappear right at the end of the.
Pumpkin Mom comes into the pit lane.
That's a weird one at this late stage of the Grand Prix. And they are starting to lap the cars now. I think Ross is not actually racing at the moment. It looks like his car is in ghost mode. Blue flags for Jenga Boy. And the thing with Jenga Boy here, he's got a lap of boost now because he's caught up at the perfect moment of this track. Alexi's 1.1 behind, doesn't have the boost. Casper does have the boost, but he's got no battery to save his life. Jenga Boy, 1 second ahead, has boost. This is the lap to use the battery because it recharges faster than Mercedes. Got a bit lucky there and maybe helped him out. This might allow him to go an extra lap without allowing Alexi the boost. But it looks like Alexi's in the boost
Evil
now.
Dragon in the walls. Yellow flags in sector 2 there, just coming into the tunnel. So it cleared now that these guys are arriving to the scene. It's quite close behind. I mean, Big Boy Ewan's still only less than 3 seconds. So if these guys get a penalty, Big Boy Ewan's going to find himself a spot on the podium if he can keep that 3 second gap ahead. Kai's struggling to catch up though, and Jess is running her own race in P6, struggling to, well, she's on 24 lap old hard tyres, so struggling to find some pace. But Alexi now in that boost mode range on Jenga Boy.
Into the final corner we go. We're about to start lap 34. Jessica Ball running her own race, but she'll be happy with P6 with her pace in the DLC being not where it she's wanting it to be. Alexi's closing up. Jenga Boy now loses the boost mode that he had on the previous lap due to the back marker. You can see the Christmas tree of his rear wing blinking away. Alexi coming up the hill now. He's not looking in his rear mirrors at the moment. He's looking ahead on that Mercedes. He can see that Mercedes is vulnerable. It's been on those hard combat tires for so long. And I tell you what, if Jenga Boy can somehow pull off the win here, it might be the greatest win in his dive bomb F1 career. He's got two of the quickest fins behind in F1 history. Can he stay ahead for the lap 34? We're going for the 35th time through the tunnel section down towards the hill. This is kind of one of only two real overtaking opportunities. He's so close, Alexi now. He'll look to the left, but he thinks better of it, and he's got to keep an eye on Casper behind. Three juggernauts in Dive Bomb Sports trying their absolute best to all pick up a win here. Alexi going for his first win, Jenga Boy going for his second win in a row, and Casper Klein is trying to find his form again after a couple of poor weeks and extend his lead at the championship. But Casper has to go deep into the corner because they're so close together.
Jess Paul's actually been in the pits and dropped the position to go on the new soft tyres, so we'll see if she can bring that gap in. I'm not sure. 15 seconds and 4 laps is going to be a hard one for her to do.
Difficult task ahead, but it's probably just to get to the end, only losing one position, and you get the 2 points anyway, so she's gaining really what she would have gained for the position ahead. So she'll take that in the top three as you were on lap 35. Kieran having a good race. Scottish Goat, Jenga Boy all having good races. Jake as well had a good race. He's sort of fallen a few positions, but he'll be very happy with 8th, I'd imagine. I think that's his personal best in the season. Hopefully Jake can stay there. Cam came on second in the Drivers' Championship. That won't stay, but he will be third because he's beating everyone else that was ahead of him. Befester's no here. Jenga Boy will overtake with a race win or second place.
With these guys all scrapping, it's allowing you. Oh, and Alexi's in the wall! Oh no, it's lag. On my screen, or maybe it wasn't.
No, he's in the wall. He's lost the front wing.
Yeah.
Jenga Boy just parked the car, nothing illegal, and Alexi was just on the power.
Casper now is in a fantastic position to win this race. He was almost last on the end of the first lap, and he's now back up to second with 3 laps to go. Can Jenga Boy hang on? Casper with the medium tyres has got even less than half life on them compared to Jenga Boy's tyres as they go up the hill. But Jenga's bumping the wall there. He's going to have to make that Mercedes as wide as he possibly can for the next 3 laps.
Yeah, the elbows are going to have to be out. They're obviously in penalty range as well for Big Boy Ewan. Maybe Lewis can check the warnings on the top 2 to see if they're in danger of maybe making a rash move. And we've seen these two make contact in the past. We've seen them have great battles, and Casper's got so much battery. Jenga Boy is going to do everything in his power to not lose this race to Casper Klein. And, well, the drivers have been moaning about how quick Casper is compared to the rest of the field, and he's not really helping himself this Grand Prix. As Big Boy Ewing has 10 seconds penalty for cutting the corner.
Straight on at the chicane. One of the top 2 drivers does have 2 warnings, so their next offence will give them a 3-second time penalty, but don't want to expose who for entertainment purposes. But this car, a one-lapped car, is now going to be very distracting for Casper as it catches up with Jenga going so slow on those old hard tyres, not getting the traction he would want at the corner exits.
Such a difficult task, but the safety, the lap car might actually help. If you can get ahead of Jenga Boy gets the boost. So maybe that's what Jenga Boy wants, is the Audi to get ahead of both of them. Big Boy Ewan's not going to stop between now and the end of the race, so if he clips that and doesn't get another warning between now and the end of the race, and proves that he did intend to slow down, that probably will get removed. It's been removed in the past when the drivers intended to slow down and the game's just been a bit harsh. And this might be Casper Klein's opportunity. So close, but there's the Audi in the way as well. Jenga Boy just parking the car. He didn't really move, at least from my POV on Casper there. Didn't really move left or right. He just kind of was in the middle of the road, which is not really illegal. He made his move, was in the middle. There's not really space, and perfect defence from Jenga Boy on lap 37.
I think Casper's going to be on the blower after this race, so a bit of complaints to the Audi team about this lapped car. Sorry, not fighting for any position. He's 22 seconds behind the next car and 15 and a half in front of the one behind him. So don't think Casper is going to be too happy about this. I'm sure he'll be on the blower at the end of this race about what's going on here. Big Boy Ewan actually catching that. If the guys in front get a penalty and Ewan gets his 10-second removed, he's going to find himself even higher up the order. He's getting a podium just now because it's Kai on 10.6 seconds behind. And yeah, so he'll still be on the podium even with the penalty if he doesn't get it removed. But he's catching pretty quickly. The cars in front. As the Audi's actually past Jenga Boy now, so Jenga Boy going to be getting a bit of help if he can hold Casper up and he can keep him behind through the tunnel as we head down to the chicane. Casper looking a bit too far back. He's going to save it for the final lap if he's going to make any moves at all, I think. Yeah, Jenga Boy going to be getting a big help from this Audi on the last lap if he can keep in with the 1 second range. But that car is pulling away rather quickly.
Well, it's not Mercedes Petronas F1 team in Monaco tonight. It's Mercedes Petronas cruise ships. This is the last lap of the Monaco Grand Prix. This is the opportunity for Jenga Boy to go back to back. There's not many places to overtake, and Jenga Boy stays ahead. Do not make a mistake on this final lap. Up the hill you go for the last time, and it might be Casper who sneaks ahead, but he's hit the wall. They're touching wheels, they're banging wheels all the way up, and Casper, the car is sliding. They make contact again. And Casper's in the lead of the Grand Prix. Somehow, after all the time, but Jacob goes down the inside, they touch wheels again. This one will be going to the stewards later on in the night. They're battling away. And well, it doesn't really matter what happens now. It's about crossing the line first. Jenga Boy will have a go at it. Casper has the boost. They've both got the same battery. This is it for Jenga Boy. If he wants to win the race, he needs to do it now, but he's losing the time. Well, Big Boy Ewan is on the back of them as well. And somehow Casper is going to win this Grand Prix after spinning on lap 1. He's not really helping himself after the drivers moan about his pace. The safety cars have helped him. Jenga Boy was a fantastic drive. It might actually be the best drive I've ever seen from Jenga Boy, and he's not going to win the Grand Prix, which is heartbreaking for him. He needs to stay in second, though, just in case. Big Boy Ewan gets that penalty removed. Somehow, Casper Klein, on his return to DBF1, wins the Monaco Grand Prix. Jenga Boy comes second. Big Boy Ewan is on the podium for now, but I tell you what, Kieran might be able to sneak it away if he can get 5 tenths. It looks like he won't be able to. Not quite. Alexi Vibes in 5th. He was on for a win. Scottish Goat, fantastic result for P6, by the way. We didn't really mention him much because he was kind of in no man's land for a majority of the Grand Prix. But for someone that's had such a bad season in terms of results, it's just not gone his way the way he would have liked. 12th, 10th here, 9th there. To get P6 at Monaco, great result for the team. Jessica Ball, 7th place. She needs that. She struggled in the opening rounds of the season and last week in Madrid. She needs that position. Jake going to come home in 8th place. Fantastic result for Jake. I think that's his personal best on the season. So good result for the Aston Martin. Kamke, second in the Drivers' Championship. He will drop to 3rd, but he'll be happy it's 3rd, and he'll drop even further behind Casper. That will probably eliminate him from title contention with only 4 rounds to go now.
That was very a Sergio Perez 2020 Sakir Grand Prix-esque from Casper, starting quite high at the top, at the back on the first lap, at the very back on the first lap, and then bringing it back to win the Grand Prix.
Incredible drive from Casper Klein, and I do believe next week is Monza, so that means that the reverse grid will be in format of the championship standings. So Casper will be starting last. It's 100% race, so going off this race, Casper will probably win that too. But we'll have to see what happens between now and a week's time, ladies and gentlemen. Casper Klein wins the Monaco Grand Prix. It's been a fantastic season so far. It looks like Casper is on course for his 2nd title in 2 seasons, but who knows? We've got 4 rounds to go. It won't actually be next week because next week we have a week break, so we are off next Wednesday, so you can do whatever you please. But make sure on the 26th of August you're back here watching DBF1 because the action is not going anywhere anytime soon. Thank you for joining me in the comments box, Lewis Craig, and we'll give you a wee throw out to you to let you pick who was your driver of the day from the moments you've seen.
I don't, I don't know. I would probably give it to Big Boy Ewan. I mean, he started seventh and he's finished on the podium even with a 10-second penalty. So I would probably give my driver of the day result to Ewan.
Well, Ewan is your driver of the day, and I'm pretty sure he didn't get a podium last week, which means he has got his first podium in 7 years, the longest gap between podiums in dive bomb sports. So we'll see if anyone else can break any history soon. Casper Klein on his way. Can anyone mount a challenge with 4 rounds to go? Enjoy your week off next week. We will see you on the 26th of August for the Italian Grand Prix.